This is very good position to be in, front row, outside of the front row, but nevertheless, we're up here. Plans for the start, you gone through it in your head?
I'm just gonna try and push my hardest and the best that I can.
It's been a hard weekend overall, I imagine, but how have you enjoyed it?
Yes, I've enjoyed it so much.
The racing seemed very tough all the way throughout. It seemed pretty relentless out there.
Yes, it's good racing.
And now it all comes down to this. It's going to be a long race, but I imagine good fun.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
Good stuff. We'll leave you to get ready. Follow me. Let's go to third place, Amelie Akits over here, who we spoke to on a couple of occasions. Hello again. We meet again. How are we doing? Inside row 2. Yeah! We're in a close battle for the lead or for second in the last race, and I think a couple of moves you did on the last lap meant you got this inside row 2 start. So
yeah, it was good. I think that we had a really good superheat, and it went really well. But yeah, we finished 4th, I think, in the end, but it was so close over the line. But finally got the inside, so hopefully we'll actually have a good run to the corner this next time, because we've been on the outside, pushed wide every time. You can't really do much in second. So
it's been making a bit of a difference then.
Yeah, hopefully.
Your competitors can hear that, so you can say that as loud as you want. Best of luck for the final. So sorry. Okay, let's go to Chase Pascalia next, who is on the outside. Row 2, though. I'm going to spin you around so the guys can see you from this way. We've spoken to you a couple of times now. It's going really well this weekend, isn't it? And for Team USA, well, you don't want to. You can hold that if you want, but it's going very well.
Yeah, it's been going well. We got a penalty that we're not sure. It made us fall back a lot, but we're back up here and we're going to go for the win.
How are you feeling ahead of this one now? Nerves building up? How does it feel at this point? Talk us through it for those guys who haven't raced a Nations Cup race before.
I'm feeling really good. All I got to do is just get to the inside as quick as possible and then just go with my teammates, trying to get a USA 1, 2, 3, 4 and come out on top.
I imagine after your superheat, you just want to get out there and get going now.
Oh, yeah. I definitely screwed up a blocking over there, and I want to get it back so bad.
Good stuff.
Thank you.
Good stuff. Best of luck. We're going to try and get through the front 3 rows. I think we've got enough time. Oh, I don't want to photobomb anyone. Charlie Adams. Inside row 3. That's pretty solid. You got a really good chance from that.
Yeah. This is where we started last year, so hopefully we can do the same thing we did.
Maybe it's almost meant to be then, that you start fifth. Maybe 5th is the place to be.
Who knows? It's just up to the drivers around me and just see how many of the drivers can just help around, and so we can just push away from the pack and get this.
It seems your weekend's had a little bit of everything
Yeah.
so far. Do you think you've learned from all of that and can go full out attack now?
Yeah, I think I've learned a lot just from my competitors from last year, and this year is just a lot different, and hopefully this year we do better.
I'm going to let you jump in. Good luck. I think we are being told to clear, so I'm going to start walking away. We're being told to... One minute. We're being told to clear, so we're going to go. Simon, I'm going to hand back up to you. Nations Cup trophy. That's what they're fighting for at the front. Those are the drivers who are racing in this. T4 Junior coming your way. Here's the grid. Enjoy it up there.
Well, here we go then for the T4 Junior final. It all comes down to this for the top 36 ranked junior drivers aged 12 to 16 are about to get underway, and it will be Sean Canivet, the Frenchman, leading us down into turn 1 on this formation lap. Alongside him, Ricardo Tabut, and in third place, Amelie Akits alongside Chase Pascalia. Then we have row 3, an All-American third row consisting of Truly Adams, last year's champion of the T4 Junior category, and Chase Gassiet-Lee in 6th position. Row 4 is Aaron Coogan alongside Eric Cuesto, another American. And then we have row 5, Martin Wright and Brian Wilson. Antonio Martinez and Daniel Hartley line up alongside each other on the 6th row of the grid in front of in front of Jorn Helder and Phil Becker, excuse me. And then we have Taimon Witte in front of Nico Franke, and we have Jakob Josef Havel in front of Josh Allen, Keith Burke, Elias Fornes, Lachlan Shearsmith, Mark Fleming, Joey Carney, Richard Saker, Matthias Glover, Matteo Richter, Tara Keneally, Daniel Brunetsky, Daniels Petris Bazins, Pri Trevino, William Omar, and then we have Anastasia Gerasis, Brooke Loretti, Edward Clark, Mika Spence, and the final driver is Jesus Asuncion, the Spaniard, rounding out the grid for this T4 Junior final. This 12-lap sprint around the Cartodromo Valencia. It really is set to be something special. Led by the Frenchman Sean Canivet, one of 2 Frenchmen taking part in this year's Nations Cup, and it is set to be an absolute corker.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a really good one. Speaking to the guys out there, atmosphere, they all seem really up for it, don't they? Amelie Ackett's really excited to be on that inside row, and I do like that she didn't hold back on saying how important the inside row is. But I'd say Ricardo Tebut, Chase Biscaglia are going to try and put that right and get a good start from the outside. But look, this is not a full-on sprint. They've got a few more laps than they did in their heats, and I think that could come into effect. So USA pushing for a 1, 2, 3, 4. It is close in the Nations Cup as well, hearing just a matter of 12 points between the top 3 nations. So plenty at stake here. Sean Canivet is going to be the one who leads us as we get ready to go for the T4 Junior final, Simon.
And here we go, everybody getting into their tram lines. We look to the lights and we wait to go racing. And we go racing now. And it's a good start from the front row. Sean Canivet gets away well. Ricardo Tebut is also there alongside Amelie Ackett, however, gets up into second place. Ricardo Tebut falling down the order. Chase Biscaglia inherits third position, with Ricardo Tebut being shuffled out down into, I believe that's position number 4, and it is. And then we have Eric Cuesto there in position number 5, immediately saying, come on, let's work together and chase those in front.
Yeah, we had a spinner, unfortunately, through the first sector. It looked, I think, that Matthias Glover had a problem, but someone spinning as well. Simon.
Yes, and there's action there at turn number 4 on the outside. That is the 221 machine. Let's take a look at who that is.
Fornes, yeah.
Elias Fornes, and the 258 also of Lachlan Shearsmith, the Australian, making his first T4 Nations Cup appearance. Now, Lachlan Shearsmith has been able to get going, but Elias Fornes, unfortunately, not able to take part any further, and Fornes' Nations Cup final is over at only turn 4. What a terrible shame for the Spaniard as we see the leaders coming across the line. It is still Sean Canivet from Chase Biscaglia, and then Amelie Ackett's in third position, and I say that it immediately changes with Chase Biscaglia there taking the lead. Amelie Ackett's taking second, but with serious fighting going on down behind.
Yeah, very, very close there. Amelie Ackett's has got through into second place. Chase Biscaglia, though, has got away out front. They've got to be very careful here because Chase Biscaglia is away and clear. He looks over his shoulder. He has got a hell of a gap now to all of these 3 drivers and the remaining pack behind them. They have to work together now and decide who's going to do the leading, who's going to do the pushing. It looks like Amelie Ackett's will take the role in the lead of this train and drive it forward as they come onto the back straight. Now we go 6.5 tenths is the gap. Time for Amelie Ackett's to try and chase it down with the help of Eric Cuesto as they come through turn 9 down to the chicane at turn 10. Look how quickly that gap just came down. 6.5 tenths disappears. Chase Biscaglia will look over his shoulder and say, where on earth is that gone? I think we're going to have a new leader possibly down at turn 1 if Amelie Ackett wants to be there. She decides to push Chase Biscaglia along, and all of a sudden we are back for 5 for the lead in this T4 Junior final. Chase Biscaglia leading from Ackett's, Cuesto, Canivet are posted up, and a change for second. There goes Cuesto down the inside of Amelie Ackett. She holds on to third place. P4 now goes the way of Ricardo Tebut. He gets down the inside of Canivet. Canivet having a really poor start to this race. He's dropped down to P5. Gassio Lee is 6th, and it's Martin Wright. Witte is 6th, and Truly Adams has dropped down to P9. Helder is P10.
And then Aaron Coogan, who we saw fighting for potentially a podium there in the superheat. He's all the way down in position number 11, so he's going to be, never mind, he's up to P10 now. He's overtaken Taman Witte, the Flying Dutchman who we saw in the heats. Struggling for pace, it seems, in this final, but that could all change. Plenty of laps left remaining, so plenty of time to recover a good result. And as we see the lead four going down Linus turn, look at Akic going up the inside of Eric Cuesto, seizing the position, but Ricardo Tabut says, thank you very much, that second place is mine.
Great driving from Ricardo Tabut to get through and ahead. Amelie Akic, it was a good ambitious pass for her, but just a little bit too wide in the process, and she's going to remain in third place. Nevertheless, she's got Eric Cuesto out the way. She now just has to deal with Ricardo Tabut, who started on the outside of the front row. Here we go down towards turn number 7. Is Amelie Akic going to make a move? No, she is going to push Ricardo Tabut along into that corner. I'll tell you what, the top 12, top 15, all together in one single line. You can see the gap to the leaders on the left-hand side of screen. There is 4 seconds only between the top 15 drivers in this T4 Junior final. It is very, very close out there. Chase Biscaglia leads us into the chicane for the 4th time. He takes us onto the start-finish straight. Across the line we go. Are we going to see any changes in behind? Not quite. Shan Canive's got to be careful. He's got Gassio Lee now tucked right in behind him. Then it's Martin Wright. He could be one to watch. He was always moving forward in the heats, and he's getting after Gassio Lee. So keep your eyes on Martin Wright and keep an eye on Trilly Adams as well. He is the quickest driver on the circuit down in P8.
And Truly Adams, a disappointing start to the race, having fell down 3 positions. He fell down to P9 initially, now rescued up to P10, setting the fastest lap. He could be one to watch, as I'm seeing, I believe that's Tara Keneally making up a position there on Antonio Martinez, as we see the leaders coming through turn number 8 and onto the back straight. This is where we see the most significant headwind. As we can look at the flags on the opposite side of the track, this is why bump drafting is so efficient along that last back section of the track. Still no action though into the final chicane. And as we come across the line, it is still Chase Biscaglia who leads. And then comes Ricardo Tabut, Amelie Akic and Eric Cuesto. And no action into turn 1, which you have to say, Chris, makes a change in the T4 Junior final. But it is still Chase Biscaglia who leads.
Yeah, it's certainly a little bit calmer through there than it has been on other laps, but not into turn 4. There comes a move from Cuesto down the inside of Akic, who's getting barged wide, and that's going to see Shan Canave going through as well into P4. This now a jump in the seat of encouragement from Shan Canave as he feels maybe this is his time to get back through into the lead, and going into the lead is Ricardo Tabut, goes down the inside of Chase Biscaglia. With that, trying to go into his second place was Eric Cuesto there. So out now of turn 8, it is going to be Tabut leading us down the back straight as we head down towards turn number 9. We've got a spinner further back, unfortunately. I think that might be Antonio Martinez, the local driver, who has spun in contact there, the 282 running wide of Ricardo Tabut. Chase Biscaglia emerges in the lead and a spin. Unfortunately, Shan Canave, the pole sitter, has spun. Amelie Akic going slow. Martin Wright also going slow as well. We have a bent axle there for 242, which is Brian Wilson. He is out of the race. He will go no further. What a shame. 4 drivers all caught out in that incident, and the final chicane strikes once again at this circuit.
And that is so unfortunate, seeing our pole man Shan Canave getting involved in that collision, completely destroying the front of his kart. He is still going, but I wouldn't be at all surprised if we see a technical flag as Brian Wilson, with his head in his hands, driving to the pit exit and absolutely distraught at the fact that he's missed out on a strong result in this T4 Junior final. As we look down the order, it is Chase Biscaglia who, among all of the carnage, has pulled out an almost 1 second gap. And then Truly Adams, as we see Brian Wilson there, almost inconsolable, having sustained so much damage, a bent axle there in that collision. As we see, Truly Adams has now inherited second position, and this could be great news for the young American, with an American 1-2, and Ricardo Tabuk getting involved with Daniel Hartley through turn 1 and through turn 2. Down into the chicane of 3, it is still Ricardo Tabut who leads Daniel Hartley. Aaron Coogan as well, making his way up to P5, and look at that, fantastic move there by Daniel Hartley, taking 3rd position, and now the hunt begins to go after the 2 Americans in front, and suddenly Truly Adams is seeing the dollar signs in front of him as he sees the opportunity, only 0.6 of a second up the road to defend his T4 Nations Cup title.
Yeah, Daniel Hartley there taking advantage of a slight mistake from Ricardo Tabut, who ran wide out of turn 3 there. Delayed in his exit, Daniel Hartley helped himself to a 3rd place. He is now leading this train. We haven't seen much of him. That's because he started down in P12. He's now up to P3, so 9 places gained for him in this race. Nico Frank has come up 10 places in this race to P6. We're also seeing big charges through from Tara Connolly, who's come up 14 places to 13th. Likewise, from Daniels Berzins, who's come up 14 places as well to 15th. So great drives throughout the field there. Some drivers really charging through the order, and charging up to the lead is Truly Adams. He did sit about 1 second back from Chase Pascalia, but he's chased that gap down now to less than 0.4 of a second. And if Daniel Hartley and Ricardo Tabuk can work together, they could make this one epic battle for the lead once again, and I think that's what they will be getting instructions to do from the sidelines. Here they come onto the back straight. Truly Adams now with his countryman Chase Pascalia, looks over his shoulder, points forward to Truly Adams as they come in towards turn number 9 and down into the chicane we go. We are going to be going on to lap number 10, so 3 to go now as they come up to the line.
And it is an American 1-2, but Daniel Hartley is pulling in that gap slightly. It is down to half a second now as we see moves happening into turn 1. That looks to be Aaron Coogan battling away with Eric Cuesto, perhaps Jorn Helder in there. Nico Franke seems to be involved, and it is Aaron Coogan who has come out on top in that battle. No change of the lead so far. It is still Chase Pascalia, then Truly Adams, then Daniel Hartley, then Ricardo Tabut. Hartley getting a little bit out of shape there on the exit of turn number 4. And that shouldn't cost him too much time as they head down. Still going 2 by 2, 2 by 2, 2 by 2. It's like Noah's Ark, but in T4 Juniors, so probably a lot more exciting, dare I say it. And on lap 9 of 12, we look to the leaders. The wind arguably stronger than it has ever been at all today, and so this is the moment where slipstream becomes so important along that back straight. That is why everyone is sorting themselves out into groups of 2. It is just so much more beneficial to have that bump draft, to have that push, and that gap that I was saying Daniel Hartley was closing has now opened back up to 0.8 of a second as we see a battle there. That looks to be Jorn Helder getting past. I'm not entirely sure who that is. It's Aaron Coogan who's leading the battle. I believe it's Nico Franke and Jorn Helder battling, and it is Jorn Helder who has taken 7th place away from the German racer, who is here at his 2nd ever Nations Cup and doing mightily well for himself, holding his own in the top 10. And you have to say Germany with a strong contingent this year, as up the inside looks Truly Adams, and he takes Chase Pascalia at turn 7 on lap number 10. But Pascalia isn't done yet. He retakes the position. He says, "Oh, sorry about the contact, mate." Truly Adams says, "What are you doing, man? Come on, let's work together." And suddenly, here comes Hartley up the inside into turn number 9. Is he going to be able to take the lead? No, but he does snatch 2nd position away from Chase Pascalia, and Ricardo Tabut may get involved as well. Chase Pascalia retakes 2nd place. Daniel Hartley cuts the chicane. This is absolutely incredible racing, Chris.
On the last lap now we go. Who's it going to be? Truly Adams leaves a space on the inside, but just closes the door in time before Chase Pascalia can get down the inside. Ricardo Tabut is sat there in 3rd place. Daniel Hartley, having skipped over the chicane, is now down to P4. Here we go in towards turn number 4 for the final time in this T4 Nations Cup final. There goes goes Daniel Hartley down into third place. Fantastic overtake from the British driver to get into P3. Now he is staring at a possible win. He's onto the podium. Who's going to be on the top step of it though? Trilly Adams versus Chase Biscaglia. Is it going to be back-to-back victories for Trilly Adams? He started 5th last year and won. He started 5th this year. Is he going to win? We're side by side for third. Meanwhile, Ricardo Tabut gets by Daniel Hartley. Drag race down towards turn number 9 for the final time. It's Trilly Adams leading on the brakes for the final time this weekend. Can he hang on? Trilly Adams out the final corner. He has done it again. Trilly Adams is the winner of the Tillotson T4 Junior Nations Cup final. Back-to-back wins. 5th to 1st in 2022. He repeats that process again in 2023. Trilly Adams retains the title once again. What a fantastic performance. Just holds off Chase Biscaglia, and Ricardo Tabut takes the last step on the podium. Coogan takes 4th place ahead of Cuesto in 5th, and Hartley finishes in P6. What a race that was. Some hard charges in the likes of Hartley, Frank as well, along with Berzins, Keneally likewise, and also Daniel Brunecki as well. William Omar was another, but a fantastic race out front. Another good, respectable race between all of our leaders, but the winner is that man you see there, Trilly Adams.
And Trilly Adams becomes the first man in Nations Cup history to defend his title successfully. It is a 1-2 for the USA, and that is going to be fantastic for their Nations Cup points. Trilly Adams takes the spoils in the T4 Junior final in front of Chase Biscaglia and Ricardo Tabut in P3. Aaron Coogan only just missed out on a podium, but a fantastic recovery drive by the Irishman to finish in 4th in front of Eric Cuesto and Daniel Hartley in 5th and 6th. Then came Nico Franke, Jorn Helder, Chase Gassiet-Lee, Keith Burke rounds out the top 10, with Martin Wright falling down the order in the latter stages of the race to finish in P11. Taman Bitter with a disappointing result down in 12th, having shown strong pace all weekend. Then came Josh Allen and Daniels Petris Berzins. Then came Tara Keneally up 12 positions and only bested by Berzins, who gained 15 to finish in 14th place. 16th place was occupied by Phil Becker and 17th by Daniel Brunetsky. Mark Fleming finished in 18th in front of Matteo Richter and Jakob Josef Havel. William Omar finished in 21st position in front of Richard Saker and Matthias Glover in 23rd. Joey Carney finished in 24th position in front of Pri Trevino and Edward Clark. Brooke Loretti finished in 27th in front of Jesus Asuncion and Anastasia Jurasis, who we got the opportunity to talk with earlier, finished in 29th place. Lachlan Shearsmith, after being involved in an incident, finished in 30th in front of Mika Sprentz and then Amelie Ackitts in 32nd position. A very, very disappointing day for Amelie Ackitts, having shown the pace to be on the podium all weekend